Hello, welcome to Spotlight on Cirrus. Today is August 20th of 2025. My name is Laura Higgs, and we are here with Jim Sloane today to talk about the Ham Radio Club that's around here. Welcome, Jim.
Hi.
Thank you for coming in. So, ham radio, what is amateur ham radio?
It's a hobby.
Okay.
It's a hobby that involves so many different facets that I couldn't begin to tell you them all.
But it starts with
typically
radio.
It's radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously there's other things involved with that. Where did your interest in radio come from? Like, how long have you been doing this?
Well, my interest came from listening to shortwave when I was a kid.
Okay.
Dad came home with an old radio he had bought at an auction sale, and I started listening to shortwave radio.
Oh.
And I continued to listen and think about ham radio because I could hear, at that time in my life, I could hear ham radio operators on the shortwave receiver.
Okay.
So I got keen on that later in life, but that's when it started.
When you were young. Okay, so when were you licensed as a ham radio operator?
1979.
Ah, long time.
Yeah, 45 years
Yeah.
almost, or almost 46.
Okay, I've known a couple people to be into ham radios. It takes up some time, but it's just very interesting, the things you learn, the people you meet, right?
It can be anything you want.
So how'd you get your license? Like, who helped with that?
That was a fellow by the name of Merton Nelson. He lived at Pilot Mound. At that time, I lived at Clearwater. And every Wednesday evening, I would go up to his place, and he would coach me. And he was able to get through my thick skull a few things that I couldn't grasp. And he was very helpful. I studied the Morse code on my own. At that time, you needed it.
Okay.
And I just kept, I just wanted it, plain and simple. So
Yeah.
I studied hard.
A real keen interest in it.
Yeah,
Is ham radio a fraternity?
it is actually, quite honestly, I think there's it's not a formal fraternity, but it definitely, if I buy something from a ham down in Ontario, I am almost certain that that's going to be in good condition when I get it, if he tells me it is. That's the kind of trust that you have in them.
Within the group?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So then if it's, such a formal group, who sets the rules and regulations for this amateur radio club?
It's all set by the, Innovation, Science, and Economic Development of Canada.
Oh, okay.
I wrote that on there.
Yeah, absolutely. You should remember that long name, right?
It's actually, we know it as Industry Canada. It's a government department. And they actually, from time to time, do change the rules in, what's the right word, in concert with the rest of the world, because there's a world body that also coordinates radio frequencies, and they don't have jurisdiction in Canada, but they have jurisdiction over what all the groups, all the countries do. And,
Right.
And so that's how it's governed. Yeah.
So ham radio has been around a long time. Different than radio where you're going to hear country music. Very similar to Morse code, you were saying, at that time. Not like TV, not like telephone. How far can you talk to somebody on ham radio?
Oh, my furthest one was Darwin, Australia.
Really?
Yeah. Now, there's all kinds of guys that are talking to people all over the world and on boats and everything else. I'm not keen on that so much as other people are. But if I wanted to, I could search the radio waves and find somebody in a off, quite a long ways away.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
I went south one year to Arizona, and one of my neighbors that we played cards together with him and his wife, and we went golfing with him and stuff like that. But in his off time, he he dragged all his equipment down there and he set up his ham radio and he
Yep.
spent his time talking with people around the world. But
And
I didn't understand much about the
Even
association.
now, it's gotten more available to people because you don't even have to cart your equipment down there.
Oh, really?
You can go on the internet with a laptop, connect to your home station,
Sure.
and work your radio from
Okay.
home. So you could be talking to the same people that you talk to
While
all
you're
the
at home.
time
Yeah, absolutely.
from
absolutely.
wherever you are.
That's just like somebody going on their Wi-Fi, going to their thermostat control and regulating their house from a distance
Yep.
away, right?
Yep,
Okay.
very much, yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, so you said the furthest station was Australia for you?
Yeah.
That's the furthest you've, so who can apply to be a radio, have a
Anyone.
radio license?
There's
Okay.
no age restriction.
Oh, there's not?
I'm actually the local examiner because the fellow who used to be our examiner passed away, so I took it on. And I tested a 9-year-old boy, 11-year-old girl, and a 42-year-old dad last December.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. So obviously no age limit at all.
no,
And is there exams involved? And
very much so, yeah.
Okay.
It's 100 questions. In order to get your basic, you need 70%. If you want basic with honors, which gives you more privileges and really what you want, quite honestly, you want that it's 80%.
Okay.
And I try and stress to any of the people that are writing it, please try and get 80.
yeah,
You know, it's worth it.
yeah, that's expected in a lot of schooling for different careers. Is the 80% is the lowest you can get in
Yeah.
order to
Yeah.
have all the benefits of the job. So can ham radio be used for commercial purposes?
No,
Okay.
definitely not. It's a, basically, if you want to use radio for commercial purposes, there's radio equipment and there's licensing out there for that. But
Okay.
amateur radio is not to be used for anything like business.
Okay.
We do buy and sell stuff, but it's usually amateur equipment. Very seldom
Yeah,
would we.
and it's person to person. It's not so you can sell to 500 people.
That's right, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
That's a
we're
different
not-
story, yeah.
And we're not advertising it to Joe Blow.
Right.
We're advertising it to, you know, the ham community.
Amongst
So,
your friends, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you said they still use Morse code?
They do. It's actually becoming more popular, believe it or not.
Oh,
There's a group of people that have latched onto it and started to embrace it a little more.
okay.
And it's actually, if conditions are very poor, which sometimes they are in the last while, you can get through with Morse code where you can't get through with voice.
Voice, oh, okay.
So it's in the military, it's still very prevalent because of that very thing. And they use code groups of 5, and they'll be all jumbled up in alphanumeric and the whole 9 yards. But if it's copied and sent properly and copied properly, it's 100%.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Used to use the Morse code with the trains as a part of the Railway Museum
That's
here.
right, yeah.
We had the fellow who initiated the Railway Museum here, Ferg. He was a telegrapher for
Yeah.
them, and he could still to this day. In fact, I know I have another speaker I listen to, and he said that he cannot get the Morse code out of his head. It's just a part of his being.
I mean, it's just my alphabet will always be there.
Yeah.
It's totally
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And it may be slower than it used to be, but it's still, if
Yeah.
I practiced up, I could.
So that makes Morse code relevant because if you haven't got the voice, you're lost some kind of communication sources, the Morse code can still be used and get through.
It can get through where other forms
Right.
of communication can't.
That
Yeah.
makes it very relevant.
Yeah.
Interesting. We always see Morse code as such a bygone thing, but it is fairly important.
I don't know if you've ever watched Jay Leno when he did the competition between the two old fellas running Morse code and the two young people doing texting.
No,
Texting lost.
really?
Yes.
Interesting. On a Jay Leno show.
Yeah.
Wow,
Is-
neat.
YouTube it and you'll
Yeah.
find it. Yeah.
I should do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very interesting. So, yeah, that's what these fellas used to do down at the Railway Museum. One kid would whisper their name to the one fella, and he'd Morse code it across the room to the other guy, and the other guy would write it down, say, "Is this your name?" And used to just astonish the kids.
As a kid, I remember going to the station, and the guy who was the station agent would be copying a message in his head while he was doing business at the counter,
Really?
and then be able to go back and write it down.
Wow.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's a second language, pretty
It
much a
is.
second language, right?
Yeah.
So that would be how amateurs could help in times of emergencies or disasters or something, right?
Well, there's certainly that part of it. There's also communication, groups will come together at that time. For instance, in Brandon, we are set up at City Hall, where they have uninterruptible power supplies.
Okay.
So we have a repeater set up in that building that can operate even if the power went out
Yes.
completely in Brandon.
Yeah,
So,
like backup generator, in
Yeah.
other words? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's very interesting. But that would be great in times of emergencies when modern communication is down.
Well, I'll give you an example. When I used to live east of Winnipeg, and one night a backhoe operator cut the fiber optic link between Winnipeg and Selkirk.
Oh,
It took out ambulance, fire, police, and basically all long distance from Lac de Bonnie to Ashern.
wow.
That was all closed down. So within 20 minutes to a half an hour, we had people in every community that had come forward and were offering their services to the local people to communicate out of there.
With being a ham radio operator.
So that lasted for approximately 4 hours that night, but we in 20 to 30 minutes were able to fill the gap.
Absolutely, hugely important, hugely important, because how do you know if a fire department's been needed or the police are needed? Yeah,
That happened, I don't know if you remember the tornado that went through Gull Lake, northeast of Winnipeg,
back
in 2006, 7, somewhere
Okay.
in there.
Okay.
Well, anyway, this happened like weeks after that. If that had happened at the same time, there would have been a lot of problems.
Yeah, no serious communication to help people out with that.
Yeah, yeah.
By then, regular communication had been restored and people were warned about that.
Yeah.
Wow, hugely important. So, who were some of the notable amateurs?
Jimmy Stewart,
Really?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Wow.
Arthur Godfrey, who's the fellow who wrote or ran for the Republicans. He came out of Arizona. Barry Goldwater.
Okay.
He was one. There's. Do you ever follow the Eagles? Okay. Well, what's his name? He plays guitar with them. He's a ham radio
Really?
operator. Yeah. There is a lot more out there than you would ever
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
No
yeah.
kidding.
I wished I'd written a list down now.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because then when I hear stuff like that, sometimes I think, well, they were notable for something else. I go back to Wikipedia, great site, and read up on their life and move that forward. But ham operator,
The
eh?
fellow who got my helped me, Mert Nelson, talked to Jimmy Stewart.
Really?
Yeah,
Very
Yeah.
cool.
yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
So can we talk to the ISS?
International Space Station, yes, you can.
Really?
Yes. They have an
Seriously?
uplink and a downlink, and when it's flying over, if you time it right, you can talk to somebody on the space station.
My dad used to follow the ISS on regular. He had an app on his phone,
Yeah.
and he would know when they were.
And that, it usually is only when there's ham radio operators up there.
Right.
But there is most of the time ham radio operators up
Sure.
there. So,
Sure.
yeah.
That's really interesting.
yeah.
I don't know if he ever knew that there's ham radio operators on
Mm-hmm.
there. But he followed them for sure. He used to make sure it'll be out at 2 a.m. It's going by.
And watch that thing go
Oh,
over.
90 seconds
Yeah.
you could see it for. That's about all. And
Yeah.
if it's cloudy, forget any of that. But so how do amateurs use the moon to communicate?
It's called EME, Earth, Moon, Earth.
Okay.
They actually beam a signal at the moon, it bounces back and lands on Earth, and they communicate with somebody that's far away.
Like with specialized equipment,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
and does
I wished I had a picture of there was a fella who used to come out to the Hamfest and stuff, and he had EME mounted on his 1980 Chevy Caprice, and you've never seen so many antennas in your life. His name was Bert. His call was V4AP. He was a really neat character, and he used to do this EME, and so
Wow.
that that it's possible to do all kinds
Wow.
of different things.
it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Hard to believe all that's out there and we didn't even know it. I didn't know it for sure. I heard about ham radio, but I just thought it was more, you'd be lucky if you could talk to one person, 3 states away or something, but
There is so many different facets to ham radio. There's people that never talk on the radio. They're busy inventing stuff. They're busy making things.
yeah,
So they never talk on the radio.
yeah.
It's not just about one thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, eh? Invention. Does anyone build their own equipment? Is that besides some of the professionals?
Less and less now,
Okay.
but there are kits out there that you can acquire
Ah,
and build the kits.
yeah,
It's a pretty complicated radio
yeah.
in today's world. So, and the eyesight needs to be extremely good.
Yeah. Eyesight and the right lights, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure,
yeah.
for sure. So some of the more inventive people, they can put together a radio probably, but they're still inventing more newer equipment, and some of you fellows just buy the equipment then, basically.
Well, a lot of it is, they call them appliance operators, they just go buy new stuff.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
there's still a few people out there that relish fixing things.
Yeah,
And, well, I've got one radio at home that I've made out of 2, and it works.
yeah,
So I'm kind of proud of that.
yeah, absolutely, I guess you should be. So how do amateurs use the ionosphere, and what is that about?
Okay, well, the ionosphere is what actually makes ham radio in a way. There's a layer of the Earth's atmosphere that's called the ionosphere, and there's different layers to that. And when the sun's energy hits that, it changes that band to reflect certain frequencies back to Earth. And so if you have listened later in the evening to an AM radio station, you will hear stations coming out of the States,
Sure,
right?
yep, yes,
You never hear them in the daytime.
right?
They're being reflected off of that. Okay,
Oh.
it's the same for ham radio. Our signals bend back to Earth after they hit the ionosphere, And basically, certain bands operate differently than other bands, like different frequencies operate differently.
Yeah.
And so it's that's how the ionosphere makes
Wow.
for
Bounces the
radio.
waves off,
Mhm.
which sends the communication, which sends either the
Yeah.
voice or the,
So there's frequencies that are just too high or whatever, and they just continue on through.
oh,
Like VHF wouldn't stop, wouldn't be reflected at all.
really?
Yeah.
Really interesting. So how is ham radio present in Souris?
We have our own repeater. It's
Really?
VE4SOU. And we just put it up last summer. It's actually on the Souris Glenwood garage, the one over on number 2,
The newer one?
the older one.
Oh, older one, okay.
Yeah. They had a tower sitting there, it wasn't doing anything, and I credit Mark for sniffing that out. And so we found equipment in the radio amateurs of Manitoba have spare equipment, so they supplied the equipment, and we got the agreement with the RM, and so we've got a repeater sitting there and operating. Now it doesn't have a very wide range because it's a very short tower. It's only 68 feet tall, whereas you know what CKX tower looks like. Well, there's a repeater on there, the Brandon repeater, which is up at about 1,100 feet. It covers a huge area. This one here covers maybe 10 miles each way
Wow.
out of town. However, there's going to be changes to that because it's hooked up to what's called the All-Star Link network, which ties into the internet. When we finally get that hooked up, I could talk to anybody. I could talk to anybody in England or anywhere
Using, through the internet, you said?
through the internet. It ties this repeater to that repeater through the internet. Pops
Just
out
like
there
you,
and-
just like you accessing your equipment from being on vacation,
That's
you
right.
access your equipment at home.
That's
You can
right.
access the ham radio operator's equipment in different places through the internet.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, interesting.
So, yeah, we do have a presence in.
Yeah,
Souris.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Who knew? And on Highway 2, you say?
yeah, yeah. The garage, it's right next to the church. On 2.
Oh, yeah, just behind the, school bus?
Yeah. So we're actually trying to acquire internet, getting somebody to help with getting us internet there.
Sure.
And once we do that, we are going to be up and running.
Yeah. My gosh, that's really interesting. Who knew?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I knew basically ham radio, and I just thought it was far more small scale than it is, but
I just looked it up the other night, and I think there's something like 2,500 hams in Manitoba, which I was surprised because we had a discussion about that down at the Ham Fest in Austin, and one of the fellows from North Dakota thought that they were somewhere in the 1,300 in North Dakota.
oh,
So I was quite surprised that we were
yes,
that high.
impressive then
Yeah.
for Manitoba, for sure.
Hmm.
And it's not just because we're out in the boonies either. Some people consider us such a small part of Canada because we've got the harshest winters and the fewer people as far as population goes.
We're
but-
much better though.
Oh my gosh, we're friendly Manitoba is what we are. Obviously, we're friendly. Look at 2,500 ham radio operators in our little province. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it surprised me.
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
did. I didn't think there was that
Yeah.
many. So.
So do you guys have like conventions and stuff that you go to?
Well, this Hamfest that we held in Austin, this is the 4th year we've held that.
Okay.
It's sort of a get-together. It's not really a convention. There's Hamventions, and then there's Hamfests.
Ah, okay.
And hamventions usually include somebody getting up and telling stories and
Yeah.
telling how to do things and whatnot.
Yeah.
Ours more so is an event where we're meeting each other, where we're trading flea market tables, where we're
Sure.
trading stuff. I shudder to call it junk, but there's some of it there.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
eye of the beholder, right?
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know what I was looking at if I was looking at ham radio equipment, but the next person might think that's just a gold mine, right?
Well, you would be surprised at what you might know
Mm-hmm.
when you look at it, yeah. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
I probably remember some of the stuff my dad had around. My dad was into a few things. I'm not sure how much he was into the ham radio, but he had a garage full of, trinkets
Mhm,
for sure when I was growing up. So maybe there would be some things I'd recognize.
Yeah, you never know,
Yeah.
you might
Yeah.
recognize.
So when
something.
was this in Austin?
It's it's just on the Saturday, the 16th this year,
Okay.
and next year it's on the 8th, because there's somebody having a wedding next year, and they
Oh.
took priority
Yeah,
over us.
well,
And,
okay.
but we've had it there now, this is our 4th, and it was very successful. We had 125 registered hams come
Oh,
out,
nice.
and made a few dollars.
Do they come up from other provinces too?
We had, don't think we had anybody from Saskatchewan this year. We did last year. We had 3 guys up from North Dakota.
Oh, nice.
Nobody from Ontario. Well, there was a VE3, but he actually lives in Manitoba now.
Mm-hmm.
But most of what we were getting was people from Winnipeg, and the surrounding
Sure.
Brandon and
Sure. Well, Austin's not that far,
central
really.
Manitoba. Yeah.
Nice and close to go to.
Good turnout and a lot of fun.
Was that in the Thresherman Reunion kind of
Yep.
area that you
Yeah,
had that?
we
It's a great
rent
area.
the Pioneer Building.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
we've had that now, and it's a perfect venue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
For sure.
perfect. And the staff and everybody at Manitoba Ag Museum are fantastic.
Super obliging.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, super obliging. The Austin Thresherman's Reunion was fabulous. But I just found their venue really, really interesting.
Oh, it
And
is.
while they had the Thresherman's Reunion, there was a bride and groom walking through. And I don't know if they got married there, but they sure took a lot of pictures on that site. So it's
No,
a beautiful site.
But
So you guys picked a great
They
place.
do a lot of weddings there,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we also have at Austin, at the Manitoba Ag Museum, there's the Manitoba Amateur Radio Museum, which is another building, a separate building there, and it's full, I mean full of radios. Okay, so you should if you're ever
I
out there, take a
thought-
wander through there,
I got into most of the buildings this past year. I don't know that I did then.
okay?
Very interesting. I got into one that has the old Cirrus Mill.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I did get
that's
into that
down the
building.
way, yeah.
Yeah, and I got into the one with some of the old wood horses, but carts and transportation. I got into that one. That was closer to the kids' park, but I just don't remember seeing that
Okay,
one.
so if you're coming up past where the Cirrus
Mill.
engine is,
Mhm.
if you just keep going up the hill, there's a big building right at the top of the hill, and it's full of, I don't know what now, because I haven't been in there for a while. But right next door, right across the roadway, basically, is where the Manitoba Amateur Radio Museum is.
Neat.
And
I'll have
it's,
to make more of a point of it next time I'm on the
absolutely-
property. But it's a great venue.
yeah, yeah.
Like it's a great place to have
It's
a.
absolutely chock full of old ham gear, and some of it's homemade too.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, it's incredible. I didn't realize it was such a fascinating topic.
Hmm?
But anything else you'd like to add, Jim?
I can't think of anything too much right now, but we talked a lot about different things here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Just didn't realize how widespread it was. But thank you so much for coming in and sharing with us more about the amateur ham radio, and not only that, the club, and corporately and then globally, how important and how much impact it has. We really appreciate that.
The only thing I would add is that I am an examiner, and I welcome anybody who is interested enough to come out and write. I can do it remotely, I can do it in person, whatever works.
You're available for that.
I had 3 people interested expressed interest on the weekend, and I look forward to seeing some more.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Well, thank you so much, Jim.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us here at Spotlight and Cirrus. Have a great rest of your week.